welcome to another edition of Pep Talk with Pepper Johnson. The man, the myth, the legend. He's got 5 rings, 2 as a player, 3 as a coach. He's going to tell you how it is, how it was, and how it should be, and why. We are joined every week by the lovely gentlemen who are on here. We got Mr. Ken Carson. Ken, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Ken is a former manager of players. He is a personal friend of Pep's, and they've known each other for over 20 years. And he's got lots of insight, and he knows how to get Pep talking. We're also joined by Anthony, who is a professional business owner, gambler. His father was the infamous, the famous, the Mr. Jimmy the Greek. So we're going to call him Greek Jr. How are you doing, Anthony?
You always leave out that I was a former Division I two-sport athlete that played both ways in football, but never mind.
I apologize, sir. I promise I will say that from now on.
The Shades does it.
Oh, let's see. And we have a very special guest tonight. We have the former player for the Ohio State. He's also happens to be the son of Mr. Pepper Johnson, Mr. Dionte Johnson. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
And then the man who brings us all here, Pepper. How are you doing, sir?
Jeff, I'm telling you, if you keep doing that, you're going to get me jumped when I go to Columbus, dude. That dude is the mayor. Yeah. That dude is the mayor, man.
Listen, I didn't tell him what state you're in right now, Pepper. I didn't tell him that.
Let's do this right. OH.
IO. IO. Do not get beat up, Jeff, okay? Because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make sure we get this understood right. I am no longer Pepper Johnson, and then Dionte Johnson. No, it's that's Dionte's father, and that's my humble position right now. That I'm that cat father.
Listen, you guys have missed all the conversations that we've been having off the air. Oh, yeah. And we had to stop talking because we have so much to talk about. We already started talking about it. So I think we should just talk about it. What do you want to dig into first, Pepper?
I'd like to hear about, Dionte and what he's doing and what's up with him.
Good place to start.
Well, on the spot, so first and foremost, my I guess I should say primary business. I'm a shoe salesman by day. I own a sneaker boutique here in Columbus, Ohio. Called Soul Classics. Actually just closed on our first commercial property. We purchased a commercial property in the Los Angeles area, so we'll be opening up a door number 2 over there late 2024. So that's been a big, huge milestone for us. I also own a branding and consulting firm called Canvas Consulting, where we do branding, consulting, videos, logos, advertising, all that good stuff. And most importantly, I'm a husband. I'm a father of 4 that keep me the busiest.
Already?
Father of 4, yeah. 9-year-old boy, twin girls that are 7, and a 4-year-old boy. So it's as you can imagine, this is as quiet as it gets over here. And that's only because it's bedtime. 4-year-old rascal.
Pepper always says the grands.
The grands, yep. Yeah, man. And me and my wife are the grands parents. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Yes.
I'd like to know where you got the brains. From?
The looks too.
It's poured in evenly. Everybody tries to do that. It's poured in evenly. Anthony is speaking to me. I love it. He thought he could set me up for that one. It didn't work that way. We united through and through.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you were a captain on the Ohio State,
Ohio State. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you played defense?
No, fullback.
Oh, you were fullback. Awesome. Cool.
It's kind of crazy because we have this figurine that's like it's going to be a family mystery for generations to come, because it's a figurine with me on one side, my dad on the other side. Is like it's like right before a collision, and we don't know who won the battle. But it's pretty dope, and good conversation starter.
Awesome. Well, that's true. As a parent, I wish that I could have had that. I had a shot with my youngest, but he quit. So,
Pep, you and Dionte were one of only 3 sets of captains, father-son in Ohio State history, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
I okay, we could talk forever about all my different proud moments with him, but the very first time we signed autographs together was at a
Mm.
card shop. You know, these guys are card collectors, comic book historians, Dionte. So I'm sitting there, and a guy hand me a book or something. And I sign the book and I slide it over to my son. I'm like, man, does it get any better than this? You know, but he goes and he tops it and give me grandkids. I'm like, ooh, oh, I can't. Oh, it was, and the first Deontay Jr. Jessica sent me the ultrasound, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this? And they was at a game. They came to a game in Cincinnati, and we lost. Believe it or not, that was why I was coaching in New England, and we lost. And I get the picture of the ultrasound, and I got to hurry up and get out of the freaking locker room. Wait a minute. Y'all told me you was gonna wait 2 years and da 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 da. No, no, we have Junior coming. Oh my goodness. And it's been I've been on a freaking ride ever since. I'm in a balloon, man. Love my
Yeah.
grands.
Yeah.
Yes.
What number did you wear, Dionte?
49.
Half a 98?
Oh, you already knew.
You
Instant.
Ken did his homework. He
No, no,
did your
no.
homework
I
already.
didn't know what number
Yeah.
you wore, and I was saying to myself, he definitely wore 40.
Yeah, 40. So I wore 40 in high school. It was already retired. So that made more sense. That was cooler.
No, that's awesome. And
Exactly.
then we all know that you guys got a huge game this weekend. The game, the biggest game in all of sports. Is that
There
right,
you
Pepper?
go.
All of
There
sports.
you go.
I
All
don't even
all of
understand
sports.
with people. I went to when I first came out to New York. People was trying to talk to me about the freaking Red Sox Yankees rivalry. I'm like, how is this a rivalry? And Babe Ruth played on both teams, and Roger Clemens, and you can go down the line.
What?
No,
Wade
it's college,
Boggs.
huh?
Johnny Damon.
Yeah,
Wade Boggs, Johnny
exactly.
Damon.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Too many people, too many big time players have experienced both sides. No, that's what you do. You go and you play against that school up north, and they it's always after Thanksgiving. It's the same time every year. Nothing changes. It's the game. Win, lose, or draw. You got to wait 365 to get to get back and all that stuff like that, or do it again. And they will not give you hot water. They will not give you hot water in the locker room. They will not give you hot water. So you
Mike,
end up if you want to get some of the sweat off of you, you got to put your towel in the sink and run it, and then rinse it out, and then wipe some of the sweat before you put your suit back on. Oh, and unfortunately for me, um, we won both the games at home, and we lost the two games up in Ann Arbor. But
Hmm.
this is why this is the man that's on the show right now. That's legendary. How many games did you win? How many gold pans do you have?
I'm 4 for 4 over here.
no.
Boom,
4 for 4.
boom,
4 for 4.
boom. Just in case, Anthony, if you're wondering, Pepper, what is the gold pan? Oh no, then again, he's gonna ask you, Dionte. He won't ask me because he's talking about I don't got no brains. The gold pans. Once upon a time, that team up north was spanking us a little bit, right? Was spanking us. And I'm too excited right now to remember the coach's name. But he goes and he tells, hey, man, not tell us, but tell our Buckeyes, our legendary Buckeyes, that, hey, that team, they're just like you. They put their pants on one leg at a time like you do. boom. No one expected it. We go out there and we give Michigan a spanking, and I think they had the original 9-game winning streak against us. And it took us a while. We ended up getting another 9-game winning streak, and we couldn't. No one can beat that. No one wants that 10-game winning streak. But that's all right. We get ready to start by getting one this Saturday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This one.
Oh yeah.
Enough of the chatter. I'm expecting them to go outside and just play some real
See?
sound football, play their best football. That's what's been missing.
Yeah, exactly. Who does he sound like, Jeff?
Listen, I tell you what, that's what we talk about every week. And listen, all cards on the table. My nephew graduated from Michigan, so I have I just want to see some good football. I don't have a rooting interest. I do love my nephew though, but I just want a good game. Good game. Everybody comes out of it healthy, and may the best team win.
And the best team just happens to be the Ohio State University.
There you go.
I was with everything you said. So the best team.
Well, there you go.
It's the deal over here. So I grew up in it. It's in the DNA. So there's I second the notion that it's the greatest rivalry, but it's the game. Like the title fits every ounce of it, and it's good that it's been able to remain that. Like that's key. So
Oh, absolutely.
but yeah, I don't think there's anything like it.
And how many times in history have they met undefeated? Do you know that statistic?
No, it hasn't been many. So I'm pretty sure that the first one. Well, this is two. We'll be 2 and 3. The first 1 versus 2 was when we played in 06, the 06 game. But there's very few and far between when they're both undefeated, and rolling in the way that they are right now.
Yeah, but like a pre-national championship game.
Yep.
Exactly. But it's always that's another reason why the rivalry is the best in all of sports is because we're always playing for something. It's always
Yes.
something. It's the Big Ten championship. It's fewer when it's just bragging rights. You never really get one of those. It's someone is winning the Big Ten championship after this ball game, and that's to me that's the biggest thing. You don't find people talk about like the interstates, the Alabama and Auburn because it's in the same state and all that stuff, but you have some fall offs from one of the schools. And then someone actually talked real crazy to me on what was it, Northwestern and Indiana, something else like that. I'm going to ready to get some people that's going to start turning off our show. But if it's not for the marbles, it's not something at stake, then you're talking about some barrel or some axe or something like that. It doesn't really float with me, football. But when you're talking about how close we are, you have it is 2 different states, so and you have one state, you have Ohio again with they can we claim more that school up north will grab more people from Ohio than Ohio from the school up north. I mean, from the state up north.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just happen to be that Benedictino. They call me a Benedictino at 17 years old. When I went to the Ohio State University, the best decision I ever made. Would do it times over again. not doing
Now,
that.
Pepper, I'm just going to ask you this: was there another school that that you were thinking about? Whether was it down to like 2 or 3, or what made you pick Ohio State?
Could
All right,
Michigan?
okay, but let me go and be honest. Did Anthony
Mm-hmm.
crack again?
That was me.
What?
That was me.
Okay.
No. You had 3 official visits, right? What 3 schools did you visit?
Or did it? Or was it 4? I think it was 4. But they just made that rule my year. The year I come
Yeah.
to 82, they just made that rule. The year before 81, you could take as many visits you want. But then they come out with this. I thought it was 4 because I went to Minnesota, Michigan State, and Ohio State. Yeah, so it was 4.
Hmm.
And I originally wanted to go to Florida. If you'd have asked me, I really wanted to go to Florida. I just heard so much about these guys out in Florida, how they play football and this, that, and other. And I watched a couple of games on TV. I said, yeah, I want some of that. Just so happened they went on probation my year when I came out. So they couldn't go to a bowl. So now it's like, hey man, I don't want to go to the school that bad if they can't go to a bowl game. And
Right.
the bowls back then was more of rewards. It was a reward for your season. So
Mm-hmm.
cancel out Florida. I actually then the next one went. It was that gong 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 gong. That music that every time USC played, and I would listen to that. It was something that just got me going. Maybe I want to go out to USC. The California teams start kind of shying away from people from my state, the higher they got of rewarded. So if you was all city, they would try to still recruit you. If you were all state, all American, those schools out west start, turning down the UCLA's, the USC's. They thought because the history of Detroit was the players would just go out there for a visit, but never had any intention on playing out there. It was
Doing
too far from
right.
home. So, but I wasn't thinking like that. I wanted to go, and so now um, I'm like, hey, all this stuff is happening for a reason. And when I went to Ohio State, there was nothing I did at Ohio State that was good. That's worth me telling you guys. And you're like, yeah, no. My host left me at a freaking party. Um, they told me, and then when I asked them about it, still today, because we still friends of Will Roberts and Doug Hill. It was like, hey man, it was your initiation. We wanted to see what you was gonna do, how you was gonna make it out of there. I was like, yeah, right. Um, the head coach, they kept me from meeting the head coach. Here, I thought I was the only person ever to go to a university and to sign a scholarship to go to a university that never met the head coach. But I ended up finding out Doug Hill and William Roberts, the two guys that was my host, they treated him the same way that Earl didn't. They never did make. They kept making up excuses. So everything was bad, but it just had my name, written on it. And like I said, I went to Ohio State. Oh, and lastly, enough about patting myself, but I was All American, number one defensive player in the state. And when I got to Ohio State, you lined up in the stretch line um, your rank. So we had two captains that were linebackers, and they were on the 50-yard line. I was in the back of the end zone, in the back of the goal line, doing my stretching. We had 2 lines, but we had 4 lines counting the outside linebackers too. But that's how far back I was on the depth chart. And uh, before that was the first day of practice, but before the season started, I ended up being face to face with Marcus Merritt and Glenn Cobb. They was our 2 captains.
Nice.
I'm gonna get you going. Ready, Pep?
Uh-oh.
118 total meetings between the 2 teams.
Yep.
Michigan 60 wins. Ohio State 51. 6 ties. Largest victory 1902, 86-0. Michigan over Ohio State.
Hey! You didn't have to say that one.
He's trying to get you riled up.
Longest
Careful.
win streak
You didn't have
1901 to 1909. Michigan 9 games. Longest unbeaten streak Michigan 15. And the current win streak is Michigan at 2.
So the only thing that matter is that last one and what happens this Saturday. So, but it's crazy. It's crazy because all those numbers was from 1906 and beyond. So
Yeah.
they won. I think they won like 14. Like I think either won or tie like the first 14. So those are the pages we're going to stick those 2 together.
So all right. So wait. So Dionte. So what were you always going to go to? It was just you were always going to go to Ohio State. There was no other school you wanted to go to.
Once it became a reality, it was a no-brainer. Like it wasn't like Ohio State was knocking at the door first. Like you get your offer. I'll never forget my first offer was the Bowling Green, and what's wild is this is how the recruiting process works. When I committed to Ohio State, my mom big call the coaches and let them know you're not coming or whatever in that standpoint. So I called Bowling Green and the head coach was pissed off and he's like, "Oh, you're just going to be a guard in the backfield." Like I'm like, "Yo, like relax," because you wouldn't have. No disrespect to Bowling Green, but you wouldn't have picked Bowling Green over Ohio State either. But like, yeah. So I really like Pitt. I was a big fan of Pitt. I really liked that visit and everything we had going over there. And then Minnesota was where a ton of Columbus City school students, like all of our players. So we had everybody from Gary Russell, Justin Valentine, who played with me at Eastmore, DJ, like all those guys went to Minnesota. So it was going to be one of the 2. But once that Ohio State offer came in, my mother and father met at Ohio State. Like there was no competing with that.
Nice.
There's some big great pads on that whatever you hold up there.
Yeah. Oh, look at that!
Hey.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking.
He's in the vault where he's in the archive rooms. Everything's in there.
Exactly.
Listen, that red jersey, I can see fullback now. I don't know if I could see fullback until I saw that red jersey. Now I can see fullback, 100%. I was damn.
So being a fullback, your favorite all-time Ohio State player must be Keith Byers.
Keith wasn't
man. Yeah, you keep trying to divide us. You know who my favorite Ohio State football player of all time is?
Oh, you already, Anthony. You already said where the brains was. So why are you trying to trick my son?
I'll give Uncle Keith 2 though. Like I'll give him 2. So yeah,
he's Uncle Keith to you. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's my godfather.
Wow.
Your godfather.
That's nice.
Yeah, we do.
Well, listen, we could talk about Ohio State
right now.
What'd you say?
You're in Columbus right now.
Yeah, I'm in Columbus.
Okay, so you're going to the game?
No, it's up there this year. So I'm gonna hang out.
Oh, okay.
So Pepper, does that mean you're going to the game?
Man, I ain't going. I'm not going in that place. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's up there this year. We gotta beat them in their house.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna ride by and I'm gonna throw a few rocks, and keep going. That's about it.
So obviously you have a little bit of a hatred for that team, right? where you don't even want to
No,
step in the stadium. Is there an NFL team you feel the same way about?
no. You know what? Well, wait a minute. Let's back up a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
I I actually went there when I was coaching in New England. And this Belichick being a funny guy, he sent me to Michigan to go and try to recruit somebody. I mean, try to evaluate somebody. It was someone that he knew wasn't up to par. He just wanted to hear the stories about when I get back. And I go in there, and it's they prove me right how backwards this freaking place is. I go up in there and they have a case with all the supposedly all the famous number one. It's supposed to be a privilege to wear number one at that school. And when Keith and I was talking about it, the ultimate number one and who started it in our minds was Anthony Carter, was AC,
Mm.
right? But you look at this shrine, and there was no freaking Anthony Carter in the shrine. So Tyrone Wheatley, he's one of those grads up there, and he actually played with the Giants after me, and I go to screaming, Wheelie, Wheelie. And he comes out, Pep, what you got down? I'm making sure all the coaches, everybody here, because I want somebody to come out and say something stupid, and they're going over the balcony. Why um AC in this freaking shrine? He said, what? And I'm like, AC is not in the shrine. For real? He didn't even know. He didn't even realize it himself. I don't want to dog out Wheat. That's my man. Well, he didn't even recognize. He was like, he thought it was a given. And I'm like, oh man, this is so crazy. I thought this was big. I was getting ready to pull out my phone and be a hidden fan and take a picture because that dude was remarkable. Now I'm looking at freaking Derek Alexander. Oh, man, get out of here. And I love Derek Alexander, but he's not Anthony Carr. So that one got me heated. So I went there. I don't have a problem going up in there. We took it on the chin of going there, and it came to the shoe. We delivered blows back. So I'm okay. Now I'm born and raised in this freaking state. So it's kind of hard for me uh, to uh, to to totally just be mad. I'm not mad because I think that
Yeah,
we came out on top. Even though the record was 2-2, I still think we came out on top. We did more with our two victories than they did with theirs. And then I had my
nice.
son come in and pull me up and dust me off when he came out of there with 4 straight victories. Man, I was so hey, the Dentines was working. Yeah,
Didn't Tom Brady go to Michigan?
Yep, he sure did.
yeah.
Yeah, of course he did.
They benched
Mhm.
him.
Right.
That's how smart
Where was he benched?
that group is. They benched him and put in a baseball player.
Makes sense.
Not his senior year, though, right?
Yeah, that's when they benched him. He started his junior
His
year.
senior year?
Yeah, Tom Brady did not start after the second game or third game of the season or something like that. I don't know. Don't start. I don't know the history of that school like that, but I know they benched him, and he
Yeah,
didn't. He just now acknowledged him, like he all while I was there coaching in New England. He didn't acknowledge him. He wouldn't say nothing. He wouldn't. It was good for me because I like Jumbo Elliott. I had to deal with guys like that was wanted to bet at the end of the year or something like that and bet on the ball game, some mess. But 12 didn't he didn't acknowledge him. He was still bitter.
I got a funny story. Back in whatever, uh, uh, I think it was Upper Deck put out packs of football cards where they were slabbed with a grade. It was like one of the first times they ever did that kind of stuff where they encapsulated them in the plastic with a grade on them. So I was like, I'll buy one. It was like $25 at the time. It's pretty expensive. So I bet when I get this card and I'm like, who the fuck is this? So then I decide I want to crack it open to see how hard it is to get into the slabs. I destroyed this card. It was a Tom Brady rookie card, 10-0.
Wow.
Ooh.
But I was like, this
Wow.
guy's he's practically Mr. Irrelevant. So let me try to get this thing out of here. And I destroyed
Yeah.
the card through the case. And I had a gem mint Tom Brady rookie card.
That's crazy.
What would that be worth today?
You never know.
What would that be
we,
worth today?
I have no idea. I don't want to know. I don't care.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't research that. It would be worth nothing. We're gonna just say it would be worth
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. We don't want
You didn't lose anything.
I lost $25.
Yeah, that's it.
So my wife Sharon is here and wants to show you the cookies she made for Ken for his birthday. Hello.
Nice.
Yeah.
And this is Dionte, Pepper's son.
Nice to
Hey,
see
hey,
you.
how you doing?
Hello, Pepper. It's so nice to see you. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to see the cookie. And look at this dude, man. Look at this. He gonna tease us with the cookie and then go and eat.
For Ken, his birthday is here.
Yeah.
A couple days.
Oh my God, these are great.
5'9"
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to give my address out there. Let me stop. Right quick.
Really good.
Let me stop.
You made these out of Oreos?
Yeah, Oreos, cream cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Oreos.
Secret ingredient.
Yeah.
Look at
My
it.
sister, Inside out Oreos and cream cheese.
Chocolate, of course.
Is that all you have? We can send some to Pepper.
I'm coming back to Jersey.
Well, I'm going to see Pepper next week, I think, so I'll bring him some.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
No problem.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
I can't believe you ate the cookie without sharing, dude.
I barely eat. I can't. I'm not supposed to eat anything like this. So
He just took just to tease us.
yep, they're good. I got a taste test.
He gets in trouble if he eats more than that.
All right.
Yeah. Well, don't give him any more. We don't. We want to keep him around.
Right. Yeah.
Keep him around.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So tell Dionte, the sneakers are hot right now. A lot of good business, right?
Yeah. It's retail, so it's all we're entering in the holiday season, so people are going to be shopping Christmas and all that stuff, and then sneakers are they're timeless. Like it's been what we've always used to connect to our heroes. Like I had this analogy years ago. It was like kids growing up, they can't drive the cars that their favorite celebrities are driving, can't buy the watch, but you look down and you have on the same shoes, and it means a ton. So they always connect with people because of that. But that's
Yeah, you grew up with that. I was the first generation that actually got exposed to. Like, I remember we wore green my 8th grade year or something like that. I don't know, my 9th grade year, and I got Larry Bird's shoes, and they were like green suede, and they bled into my socks. I'd come out of a game with green socks. They were so bad.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, like people don't realize how really young the modern sneaker industry is.
Oh yeah.
You have Nike, who just recently celebrated 50 years. Like this is everything is within the past 30 years is when it really boomed and took blossom into what it is kind of today.
Well, do you really see the evolution start with the Air Jordans?
Well, I think that is what turned it into the mammoth that it is. Like people were going to wear sneakers. Like if you're an athlete and you wanted to perform better, and people were coming out with better technology, but I still think that Michael Jordan's easily the most important figure when it comes to to combining the sport and the culture together. Simply because of how everything just merged and married, and it did it so well. Like you don't create what we have today without the winning and the flash and the fashion. So it was the perfect marriage of it. It was the perfect counterweight to what the culture was at that time, and we're still feeling the impact today, which is wild. Like that's crazy to me.
What's the name of the store, Dionte? Did you mention it?
Soul Classics.
So
Soul Classics.
excellent.
And you do in vintage, collectible ones as well as new?
So we don't we sell everything direct from supplier. So like as they re-release retro product, we sell it. But it's not like we'll go out and buy a shoe that really came out in 1984 and put it in a case or anything like that. Like we don't buy stuff like to resell it, so to say. So when
Are you going
Nike,
to try that in the LA market? Because I know the LA market is huge for that.
yeah, no. We're same. We'll have the same business model. So yeah, we get the latest and greatest and put it in the hands of the people who love us.
That's cool.
Is there a Pepper Johnson sticker out there?
The shoes that he wore. I wish Fila would get it together because that's where the story is. But yeah, that's where the opportunity would lie. That would be super dope.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Man, hey, Fila, yeah, they owe me. They owe me. I did so much stuff for them. It was illegal, and I wore Fila's anyway. Right? It was one of the Pro Bowls too, right? Yeah, I wore Fila's in one of the Pro Bowls. But they were good to me. I like Fila. I wore all the sweatsuits and stuff, so it was they were good. I can't
The
I
love
can't
was there. Yeah.
yeah. And I probably had on Fila's. Okay, this is every time I get one of my guests on the show, so I gotta
Uh
keep
huh.
it real. We gotta keep it 100, right? So I have
Mhm.
to uh, say something or bring up something questionable. I'm not going to say it's embarrassing, but it's questionable for Dionte, right?
Okay.
Um, uh, Now, everybody, people heard that, hey, baseball was my first organized sport I played, and football was last. And basketball, I was okay in high school and really, became a decent basketball player after. Uh, Out of all your years of living, 37, right? Deontay?
You said say that again.
You're 37, right? I said it
Yep.
real.
It was breaking up a little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry. Your age,
Yep.
sir? Age,
37.
yeah, okay. Um, have you ever beat me in basketball?
Nah.
Yeah. My son used to foul me. I let him foul me. I said, hey, dude, it doesn't matter how much you foul me. I'm still going to score these baskets. It's what I know, right? Um, One time he got so mad he took a blow at me and he knew he was wrong. He kind of stood back. I was like, dude, you came kind of close, but I'm still gonna make this bucket, right? Then all of a sudden it got to I can't remember if he was 12 or he was 13, and the game got a little closer than what I wanted. No more games. I didn't play him anymore. The reason why he's 37 years old and never beat me in basketball is Daddy playing at 13. Shoot, I said I want to keep my record.
My wife was like one of the best bowlers in the Jersey Shore. She was like all shore bowler, and
Yeah.
24, 25 years old, we're bowling, and I beat her. I've never played her again.
That's
That's it.
See, I knew something that I
all it
like.
takes. That's the little Giants effect. All you need is one time.
No, he's a cowboy dude. He's a cowboy dude. Yeah, yeah. I got friends with the wrong guy. Friends with the wrong people. At Walls, bring Walls and we bring Diashi on the show and Keith goes and hey, so you try to tell me you got to get Cowboys to win Super Bowls, and I'm like that was the second one, dude. We already won one. We now we just letting everybody just join the parade.
When you were playing Deontay, was how was your dad? Um, did he call you a lot? Did he do a lot of coaching, or you just kind of stand back and let you be who you were?
The cool thing about it, man, is he was always a presence. Like if I needed something,
Yeah.
if I wanted to know something, like he's going to let me be. So of course he's going to be there, but he's big on letting the coaches coach. And that has transcended because I ended up becoming a coach. I didn't think that I would, and I coached high school football. This was actually my first fall not coaching football, and it felt very weird. But that is something that I value tremendously because as a coach you don't understand how difficult it is to go against what's going on at home. And you can't really develop a player who's hearing instruction from multiple different voices. So it played a big part into it. So naturally, if I'm with him, he worked me through some drills and catch. And I'll never forget. We were I used to run like on my heels, and it used to drive him crazy. Like we were running. I think it was in New Jersey one time on the track, and I was like scooting across the track, and that's when he taught me how to like run on my toes and push off the balls of my feet. So like those moments were always there, but he was never like, "Yo, your coach told you to do this, nah, do that." Nah, that never happened.
Yeah. I expected exactly that. But that leads me into something I want to talk to Pepper about.
Uh-oh.
When I coached and stuff, and you coach, I'm sure you coached high school a couple years ago, so you would occasionally have those parents that wanted to, tell you what was going on, or want to know why you didn't play my kid, or all this other stuff. To translate that into the NFL, Pepper, is that happening with agents? Are sports agents dictating what some of these guys are doing on the field?
Well, I know the agents are are getting people hired. How they're affecting some teams if they play or whatever out on the field, I don't know um, because that one right there is you're kind of really stinging the head coach. So if the head coach don't want to play this kid, he got someone better, and I don't know what type of leverage an agent would have to tell that guy or play my kid or what. Now, if they have the same agent,
You told me a story one time about um, I don't know, I don't even remember the name of the player, but the Patriots drafted a guy, and in training camp when you went to the cuts, you told him that you put him on the cut list. And they said we can't cut him. He's a third round pick, and you were like, so
yeah,
he's not living a. Was there something like that? I can't remember exactly what it was, but that to me is something other than football dictating what's going on in the field.
yeah. Well, that's not the agent talking. that's someone, that he was drafted at a certain level, and he should be on the freaking team. And they you get more of that later on in football. When I first came out, it didn't matter. It was a running back. I want to say either the year or 2 years before me that was from Iowa, drafted in the first round, and that guy got cut um, his rookie year. So it was a lot different then. Now, what I try to tell people, there's no way anyone's going to convince me that they are actually drafting players because of their talent and solely on their talent. You can't, you're not going to convince me on that. It's part of the marketing, whether it's good or bad, because you could just turn on your TV now. You have some commercials that's very informative. You got commercials that's selling the product. You got it does a good job of selling the product. You got some commercials that they're just to have you talking about it. It's silly, but it's catchy, and we can do a lot of that. Talking about football and talking about commercials. These State Farm commercials, it don't make me want to get State Farm insurance. It's entertaining, but it makes you think of State Farm insurance. You're going to constantly say the name, and that's what they want. That's what they want out there. So um, to me, it's the same thing in the football world. I can't see. And speaking of, everybody like right now, maybe, maybe, and I haven't heard it. People ought to say who's the best and all that stuff. But maybe the Kansas City quarterback is considered the best quarterback in the freaking league now. I don't know. But in my mind, he's not much better than whoever is the second best or another quarterback that's in the league, simply because he's uh, it's like college football all over again. We're not throwing the ball to areas and letting the receiver get there. We're waiting till the guy get open, or we got to move around in the pocket to make the guy, in order for someone to get open. And I mean, I can't move around, but I can throw the ball to some of these guys nowadays when they, that they open, because uh, Dionte and a lot of other guys will tell you there it's harder for a defender to cover a guy that. And if a quarterback, he gets man coverage and he scrambles, he's for sure to get somebody open, and he's going to for sure to get somebody wide open, and that's where they got a game. And so defensively, if you ask me, how do you prevent that? You control the pass rush. You give those guys assignments, but the coaching in the game today, they don't even try it. They teach them a couple of pass rush moves in practice. A lot of these guys have the pass rush specialists that they go see. A couple of guys are my friends that they train. A lot of dudes that's in the league, and they come out there and they're doing whatever they want to do. And so you have all these open pass rush lanes. Whereas the pass rush should complement the coverage. If you're playing some type of man coverage, then you can't just rush everybody up the freaking field, or the quarterback is going to scramble. It's just, I mean, to me, it's football 101, but it doesn't look like that when you watch on TV. Or you got guys, like I said, they're jumping offside, and um, and they're not even looking towards the sideline. Like no one is not. They're not even taking them out of the game or anything like that, and not reprimanding them. So they do whatever they want. And maybe I've been away from the game too long, But I'm telling you, and it's a good thing that I am away from the game because um, that player is coming over there to visit me and stand on the sideline with me. You jump off sides.
Right.
Penalties is not work. You give them these guys new life and all that stuff like that. It's a problem. Now it's one thing when you're talking about, we could talk about it for forever when it's a judgmental call and the referee just, whether the guy held him or he didn't hold him or whatever, da 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 da. But a lot of that stuff with the defensive backs nowadays, you have to say the coaches are teaching it because if they're allowing it to happen, then they're teaching it. I have never. I've been to. I can't even. So I coached 17 years. So obviously, evidently, I must have been to 17 combines coaching wise, and then I got another one when I played. I have never once in a combine seen a drill where you tell the defensive back to run and grab at something like it's a jersey. I know a lot. I've met a lot of defensive back coaches, and I'm like, hey man, show me that drill when you teach the guy how to reach and grab at the receiver and maintain his balance. What are you talking about, Pep? I'm like, that's my whole point. You go to reaching for the receiver, you're trying to grab the guy, or you're trying to slow him down, or arm bar him, or whatever like that, and then they lose balance. And then when they lose balance, what do they do? They start grabbing the dude, and they fall down, and you get a flag, and then everybody want to throw their arms up in the air and all that mess like that. To me, it gets ridiculous because if you're allowing it, I mean, you coaching it. You good, Jeff?
Oh yeah, I'm good, man. I'm waiting for you, buddy. Let's
Oh,
go.
all right. Okay.
I
So
want to hear it.
when I first started coaching in New England, um, they sent me on this project to go to the Gridiron Bowl, and I'm watching these coaches coach the linebackers playing man to man coverage,
Uh,
and I'm like, there's no way in the world them dudes going to ever cover anybody like that. You're not mirroring anybody. I can't even move, and I'm sorry. I can take a kid out here now, um, 18 years old, and he won't be able to stay with me because he's trying to mirror me. I'm going to shake him some kind of way, and I got a good enough quarterback that can throw it to the right spot, he's lost. Okay, so I because I'm learning. Like I said, my first year coach. So when I come back and I tell this, share this information with Coach Belichick and Scott Pioli. And Pioli, he listens to me, and they say, hey, well, what you're looking for is the kid's movement, and can he be coached to what you want him to do? And I said, yeah, okay, I'm glad y'all said this to me, and blah, 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 blah. Right? So now Pioli goes to Ohio State. And Dionte is already, I want to say it's going into his second year. It wasn't his first year. I want to say it was his second year. And he goes, uh, no, it was Deontay's first year. Okay. But anyway, he's out there and Pioli's watching him in practice. And he just can't wait to come back and tell me how Deontay looks in practice. So he tells me, hey, Pep, man, you need to get over there and coach your son. Ooh, slow down, man. What you mean, coach my son? Um, why is he running and setting his feet in the hole? And I said, okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Um, Deontay, no, he shouldn't run and set his feet in the hole. Why? Because we had this conversation about the plus side of playing offense and defense is from a linebacker standpoint. Deontay played linebacker when he was in high school. He knows what blocks affect him more, right? So offense now he's the fullback and he's lead blocking. He knows if I keep going and that guy got to jump out of this lane, the running back runs off my butt, whether I touch him or not. He's not getting ready to tackle Beanie Wells with his hand. He's going to run through that.
Right.
But here's the problem: he has a coach that is telling him you got to fit up, you got to square up, and then hit the guy, and then turn him and drive him out of. What is he talking about? Oh, wait a minute. It's Tress's brother, right? Wasn't it Tress's brother?
Yeah, yeah, Doc. Yep.
And so I'm sitting up here. So I told Pioli, I said, "Hey man, so he's been told what do you want me to do? Like I can't. My son already know this. Dionte called me to ask me what should he do, and I'm like you. It's like when y'all asked him earlier. I'm not going to interfere. I would rather for you to figure it out and do it to a point where you kind of roll into it. Get your foot, balance off your stance right before you strike, and then just drive into it because you're a good enough athlete to be able to do that, right? Um,
Hmm.
and we don't have a problem out of Deontay block. But he only tried to tell me this, and I said, and I'm like, this was the question that I had for you when y'all sent me out here to this gridiron ball. That if you don't know, if I didn't know what my son was being told, I look like you coming up to me, telling me that I need to teach my son how to block ISO block, and really I don't want to say fool. He's a friend of mine, but you're looking like a fool because he has to do what the coach told him to do, and I would rather for him to do what the coach said to do than to be hard headed like his father and and try to manipulate the freaking system and the techniques. And fast forwarding, before I get into too much stuff at Ohio State, that was my blessing when I got with Parcells and Belichick. They didn't they didn't tell me how to do it. They allowed me. They told me what they wanted done. They explained to me the why, and then we went from there. Um, I have another one. I keep with my telling my son youth story. Baseball. One year, and I'm gonna try to shorten this one as much as possible. Dionte is knocking the cover off the ball, right? In this little league, he leads the league batting average. But the league don't they didn't want anybody trying to keep fairness and all that stuff. I understand it. So you don't have the same team every year. So you get the draft pick. So now the team that was the worst in the league gets the draft from the other players. Who do they draft? Dionte, because he has the highest bat now. Okay. Fast forward to Daddy comes and show up at the game. Go up, not stand in left field because Dionte played left field. Blah, 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 blah. They get the guys out, goes up the bat, and I want to say you was batting. Matter of fact, I know you was batting third. Batting third, uh, Deontay slaps the ball hard, hits a foul. Swing again, foul tip it. Probably not in this order. Probably threw a ball sooner or later. But then he swings again, pat. He He gets on base. He's on first. Now, if you're wondering what happened to the first two guys, both of them got out. Dionte with two outs, gets on base. The fourth batter goes up there, and matter of fact, he strikes out looking. So Deontay goes, he's getting ready to go to the dugout, but they bring him his glove and all that stuff like that. And then the coach walks out there across the third baseline, and he starts talking to Deontay. I wonder what he's talking to Deontay about. So when he comes out there, and I try to stand away a little bit, and because I don't want to bug him. Hey man, what was your coach talking to you about? Don't worry about it, Dad. Nah, I'm really gonna worry about it because you just said, don't worry about it, Dad. What did he say? He told me not to swing so hard. What? What did he? These two dudes got out. You get on the base, and then the other guy gets out, and he can't advance you. You may have gotten the double, slapping at the ball like you did, or stole a base. But anyway, now we want to talk to you and don't talk to the other guys. This place is crazy. But Jeff, Anthony, y'all would be proud of me. I didn't say nothing to the coach. I was mad that my son was on that team.
Were you a better baseball player than your dad?
Say it again.
Unfortunately, you can't line up 1-on-1 and play baseball.
Yeah.
But that's my sport, man. I love it. And it's crazy right now because my oldest son both of my sons actually just took to it, and the girls are playing softball, so it's resparking all those memories. So it's been fun. So my oldest son, it's one of those we've been trying to let him figure out what he likes to do, and he'll watch baseball. Now he actually watches football too, but he locked in on baseball early and decided he likes it. So we're going to follow up with that one.
That's all. Listen, I got a baseball story about your dad. He probably never told you.
Uh-oh.
Let me hear it.
So back when I was a sports agent, Pepper's one of my guys. So I booked him to throw out the first pitch at a Lakewood Blue Claws minor league team. They were a minor league affiliate for the Phillies.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Pepper shows up, and we're walking through the tunnels and all that, and the guy says to Pepper, "Okay, when you throw the ball, stand in front of the pitching mound." Pepper's like, "No, I want to be on the mound." And leading up to this, I was telling Pepper, "You practicing, right?" He's like, "Oh, I'll be good. I don't need to practice." So he insists to go on the mound. The guy's like, "We don't let anybody go on the mound." And Pepper looks at him and said, "I'm going on the mound." Okay, on the mound. Pepper goes up on the mound. He throws the ball. He skips it about 12 feet in front of the catcher. The catcher scoops it. I almost pissed my pants. So this is before iPhones and all that. But my daughter had a phone that we could record the video. So the next day, we had a charity basketball game, New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Pepper played the Giants side, of course.
Oh, wow.
And Walls was there. So I told Walls about it. Walls said, "Do you got video?" I said, "Yeah." So I get my daughter's phone, and I show him the video. And Walls says, "You wound up like Louis Tiant and threw it like Barbara Bush."
Oh, man.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. Okay.
Because you did wind up like Louis Tiant.
Jeff, please listen to my side of the story. Because I think I told Deontay.
Yes.
And Deontay,
I will now listen to the other side of the argument, please.
And Dionte, you can now you heard that. This is going to be on podcast on the news. Carlos was there, and his boys was there.
Yep.
Okay. When I went on the mound, part of the reason why they didn't want me to go up there because I had on flip flop. I just played golf. And our dumb butt went out there and I forgot about I was supposed to throw out the first ball. And now when they put me on a hill, it actually had a hill. I wasn't passing up the opportunity to get on a hill because my high school there wasn't no hill. It was just everything was flat. It was just some rocks in a rubber, right?
Right.
So I go now. Ken has his Barbara Bush. Of course, Wall's going to crack a joke, and Barbara Bush is all. But okay, now did you get the information of what they said? How fast that ball came in?
Well, before it hit the dirt, it was probably moving. But yeah,
But it
it left a
skipped. It
divot.
skipped, Jeff.
It,
So okay, somebody
you
tell
even,
me
you
this.
even said to
Okay,
me afterwards, you're like the catcher saved me.
no, the catcher caught it, but the catcher came up to me like, "Man, you wasn't playing. You pitched before. That's how he was talking." The Carlos said he said 88. You can't mistake 88 and 92. 88, 92 don't sound anything alike. But Carlos says that now. However you want to slice it, it would have been harder if it would have went straight to the glove. Do we all agree?
Yes, yes.
Um, Dionte, I gotta be maybe I'm in my 40s,
Uh-huh.
right? I'm going,
Yeah. This
I'm
would
going
have
at 94 miles per hour in my
15 years
40s.
ago.
90 now it's 94.
Huh? What do you say, 94?
Listen, he's 100-mile-an-hour fastball on the dirt. Listen,
And he
In
wound up like
flip
Louis
flops.
Theon. He did.
in flip flops.
Do not forget the part about I was in flip flops.
Now, what did you say about ifs and buts?
We all be. If was a fifth, we all. You're right. You're right. No, but Ken tried to
Or
bring.
listen, we're in the holiday season now, so we can say if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, right?
That's right.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
right.
You just
But
took
no,
it.
I believe once again. But that's why you practice, man. Doesn't matter how good you are until you're actually up on that mound and you're doing it in flip flops or not.
In flip
It,
flops.
like I said, I would think that I could do it if I practiced a couple times too. But if I didn't practice, I don't think I could. I wouldn't throw that fast. I'm just saying. I think you could get it to the catcher in one foul swoop. But look at that.
Yeah,
That's
there we
Ken.
go.
That's the girls.
And I still have that jersey. Why? Because I was proud. Ken tried to make it seem like it bounced 4 feet in front of first base. It skipped right in front of the base.
I wish I had this video. I wish I had the video because he
Oh,
really
you
did.
know
He
what?
wound up like Louis Theon. He big high kick, looking the other
Yep.
way, and just whipped
Yep.
it.
Whoop. Dionte, I never told you that story.
No, you didn't tell me that.
Oh my goodness.
And then I had
So
Pepper come back a couple years later, and he did the home run derby contest. And I still
Nice.
have 2 of the balls because he gave 2 to my girls. So that was fun. Hitting
Oh, I thought you still had 2 of the balls because they only went like 2 feet in front of the plate. I thought that's what you were going to say.
well, he
How am I the joke? How am I the joke? This show. I'm trying to figure this out. I said
Oh my
baseball. We
God!
both the two Johnsons. The two Johnsons
Listen,
said baseball were our sports. How is this? And I forgot to add that part when I'm watching my son slap the cover off the ball. I was like, oh man, he hit the ball better than I did.
there you go.
It was in the blood, but he hit with more power and drives. I just dinked the singles. Wade Boggs was my favorite player, so I dinked for singles and Rod Carew. Them guys was my guys, so I dinked for singles. And when I got on base, I'm still in all the way to home.
There you go. So Dionte, so who's your team? Who's your NBA? Your MHL, MLB.
So I'm a Guardians fan through and through. So what's crazy is like growing up. So I have a like extended family. Is Marquise Grissom.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, like I was a Braves fan, and still got some memorabilia downstairs in the basement and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to root for hometown, and I'm a Guardians fan for that reason.
Nice.
Was a big Manny Ramirez fan and all that good stuff as well. So
Love that stadium. I've been there. It's great. Did you play? Did you play baseball in college?
what'd you say?
Did you play baseball in college?
You said would I have?
Did you?
No, did you?
Did you?
No, I didn't. What's crazy is it was a dude like I used to go over there all the time though because it was a guy that played against me when in high school. He played for Whitehall, which is a school literally down the street. You can hear it from you can hear each school from the other. And he went on to Ohio State to play baseball, so we would connect all the time. He actually I have a glove in the garage that he gave me when he was there at Ohio State, so that was dope.
All right, so before I know we know. Hold on, Ken. I know we got a lot to talk about, but I want to throw this out here, and this is back from the other conversation because I want to get this on the record. I want to know from both the Johnsons, what's the score going to be this weekend? That's what I want to know. So, who's your NFL team? Do you still follow? Were you just kind of follow your dad around, or do you have?
No, yeah. So NFL wise, man, man, people ask me that all the time. They label me as a bandwagon fan. Like I had after obviously rooting for my father, then I started having teammates in the NFL and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
I would just root for my guys. Like I'm a big person. I can't really root against family or extended family. So after that, like I never really landed a home after I became a fan again. So it's still true and true. Like I root for the Browns. I root for the Bengals. As painful as that can be. And then there's guys that I root for, like C.J. Stroud is playing great
Mhm.
football down there in Houston. So
Yep.
I'm rooting for Houston quietly
Yeah.
to shock the world. So, but yeah, I'll land in Cleveland and Cincinnati and just pull for Ohio team since this is where I'm located.
Sure. And then and just root for your former people who played for Ohio State, guys good friends, and
Yep.
just kind of hope they do well and not really. I got
Yep.
you. That works.
And
Yeah.
I think you asked me like, who is there anybody left? Like I always randomly forget because Cam Hayward like on his 25th NFL season. So that'll be the last. So that'll be the last one that of my era. But Cam's still doing his thing up in Pittsburgh. He's playing at a high level. So he's a brick wall when it comes to it. But yeah, so I'll like that makes it a little bit more conflicting because I'll pull for him too. But yeah, like I usually just root for my guys or anything that draws back to the home team.
Yeah.
And when I saw him watching Pittsburgh, and I was like, man, that looked like Cam. And then when they
Yep.
said his name, I was like, how in the world is he still playing?
Cam,
Yeah, then
Cam on season 27.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, man.
That's a bad man. Let me just put it that way.
Mhm.
That's a bad man.
I say the same thing when people ask me like, "What team do I root for?" I'm like, "Listen, I got a friend who was in the NFL for over 26 years or whatever it was. So I like whatever team he was working with or playing on. So now that I keep telling Pep, you got to get back in the league. I got to root for somebody. I got nobody to root for."
Hey,
Mhm.
okay. Let me one more. Let me pick on my son one more time on TV. Okay, now it was a proud moment, but uh, a friend flipped it. Okay, so Dionte was a fan. He was a fan of Green Bay, Brett Favre, right? Okay, we going
Yep.
to and so he got a jersey, and he was proud that he was going to wear this jersey, to come see me, right?
Right.
Well, this day while we going to the golf tournament. Dionte, you can't really wear jerseys, and he was looking like that was getting ready to hurt him. So I couldn't take it off of him. So and I knew Brett was going to be there. So here go, I got my son with me. Here go Brett Favre, and I get ready to go up to him to tell him, this is a big deal. This is my son, and I want to go to introduce him to him. Say, this is my son. Before I can say his name, the first thing Brett says is, "Did your father tell you I made him fumble?" What are you doing? What are you talking about? He said, hey, it's a fair question. It's a fair question. Dionte was just, he was just looking. He didn't know. He was at all because it's Brett Favre. And so he shook his head. No. And he said, yeah. Come here. Let me tell you how I made your father fumble. Now, Brett started talking to him. And I'm like, that would have definitely been a beautiful moment to have a freaking one of these phones today. Now I could have videotaped that one, but
Right.
And then from that point on, every time I saw him, he would bring that up. He was like, hey, "Man, that's bad, Pep. I expect a lot more from you. You should at least told your son that." And I gotta. So for you guys that don't really get the joke, I got an interception. As soon as I get the interception, I'm running into my. What happened?
I said I had an interception on farm. He had more interceptions than anybody.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's what probably tried to. Oh yeah. Well, I'm telling you this story so I get the interception. I'm running around in freaking circles. Chris Berman is having a blast with it, making me sound like the Three Stooges or something. Woo, 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 woo. And I'm running around. And then Brett comes and pokes the ball out from the back, and they fall back on it, right? Oh, my goodness. Whoever was one of the announcers called me stupid. I really want to find out who it was. Oh, that was a very stupid play. He actually said that. I want to go choke that guy. I don't know who he was. And the very next play, Brett throws another interception to Renee Thompson, and he runs it back for a touchdown. Saves Pep.
There you go. I was going to say, I think Brett Favre's first pass in the NFL was a pick six.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, exactly. I'll tell you what. John Unitas' first pass in the NFL was an interception for a touchdown, and his last was a touchdown.
Nice.
So those two, his career.
That's two good bookends.
I remember I was with my dad, and he was talking to John Unitas, and I was about the size. I just remember looking at a Super Bowl ring. He was wearing a Super Bowl ring, and my dad just looked at me and said, "This is the best that ever lived." At that time, Unitas was the best that ever lived to him.
Nice.
He changed the game passing one.
Yeah. Because they allowed him to throw the ball.
Yeah. Actually, remember we were talking about Joe Namath in Super Bowl III? We were talking about him when he was MVP and how he really didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Remember when I said that Joe Namath was the Taylor Swift of his day? Remember when I said that?
I know. Right? Oh man, that was man. I don't know.
He was a backup. Yeah, he was injured. The starting quarterback was for the Colts. I can't remember. For the Colts in Super Bowl III? Yeah, it might have been.
Earl Monroe. No, Earl Moran. No, what?
Morrill.
I don't know. He got hurt, so they had to bring Unitas in. And Unitas threw the only I think he actually threw the only touchdown passes in the game.
Because Namath didn't throw a touchdown in that game.
And he didn't throw a pass in the second half. The whole half. He didn't throw a pass and got MVP.
The backs was running over everybody, man.
Emerson
I
Boozer
don't.
and Matt Snell tearing it up, baby.
Yeah,
No, it's all good. Thank you so much, Dionte, for joining us tonight, man. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Nah, it was fun. It was fun to be here. That was cool.
All right, well, we'll see you guys all next week. And Pepper, you wanna take us out with any final thoughts for the night?
oh, 8.
Io, I'm with you. I heard it. That's our final thoughts for the week.
All right, good night, everybody.